And he said, "Oh my goodness, why didn't you tell me?" And I said, "It's because you dismissed him."
Dr. Craiglow, you mentioned some other very serious diseases, and we now know that alopecia areata is an autoimmune disease. Why do you think it's still dismissed by so many as a cosmetic issue?
I think probably a lot of reasons. I think the main one is that it's still very poorly understood among physicians in terms of what the patient experience is like. And I think also part of that may be because we sort of historically haven't had reliably effective treatments, right? And so among healthcare providers, there's this feeling like, well, if there's nothing I can do for it, that doesn't feel good. And so maybe in my mind, I just dismiss it as not really a big deal.
Do you think these persistent misconceptions delay primary care providers from helping their patients see the right specialist?
I see, so many patients who have seen, you name it, physician, primary care physician, endocrinologist, rheumatologist. I mean, oftentimes they don't even get to a dermatologist until a few, practitioners in, right? And then even then, they are either told there's nothing to do, they're offered only injections, maybe some topicals, which we know really aren't effective, especially for people with more severe disease.
When you mentioned with the primary care physician, when we first went to Elliot's pediatrician, it was dismissed. And I actually stopped going for a while. We went for his well visit about a year later, but I was really frustrated until it got to the point with his eyes. He is somebody who I went back to, but not with Elliot. And I just showed him photographs. And, kudos to him. He gasped and he said, "Oh my goodness, why didn't you tell me?" And I said, "It's because you dismissed him. When we first came to you, you dismissed him." And from that moment on, really, I was very grateful. It was a little late in the game, but he started doing research. He called me with names of all of these different specialists to make sure that there wasn't something else going on. But it really just took his realizing and being told that he really changed his tune.